Okay, now we're gonna make the ear. I'm gonna have the ear look like this with loopholes, loop stitch. So if you find this a hassle, you do not want to make the ear loop stitch ear, you can actually use back the same pattern that I'm gonna teach you. You use back the same pattern, you can actually make a simple normal flat ear for the rabbit. And if you think the ear is too short, you can actually make it even longer. I've seen those who make the ear up to the whole body. So this is like kind of 3/4 way. So up to you. If you want, you can make 5 more rows here. You're going to start from here and then going to do our way up. And here, if you want, you can do a few more rows and you'll be very long. Or you can just do it this way. So now I'm teaching the one with the loop stitch. But if you want to make it into a normal ear, you just follow the same stitch, but instead of making loop stitch, you make single crochet. Now we're going to start by making a magic ring. So if you're making it into a normal ear, same stitches, you just turn it into single crochet while I gonna make it into loop stitch. Okay, you make a magic circle. You're gonna make 6 single crochet in the circle. Oops. Okay, 6 single crochet. Even for loop stitch, the first round it's still single crochet. Only the second round onwards we're gonna start the loop stitch. For loop stitch, you need a lot of marker because sometimes with the loop it's kind of difficult to see where is the stitches. I mean, when are we going to increase or decrease? Without the loop it's easier to see, but with the loop it's gonna get harder. So I need marker to help me get around. So first round, whether you're doing it loop stitch or normal single crochet stitch, it is still magic ring with 6 single crochet into the ring. After this, we're gonna do single crochet followed by increase. This is the time when I'm gonna start my loop stitch. If you do not know how to make loop stitch, I'm gonna share the loop stitch basic stitch in the description box. You can check it out first before you start doing the ear. Okay, so normally what I do is I put the hook into the place where I want to single crochet. Then I use my thumb, hold it down, I yarn over the other way. So single crochet followed by increase. So that means the next one should be increase. Same thing, put my yarn hook through, then I yarn over and put through. So this time it's going to be an increase, so I make sure I go back to the same stitch. That is why sometimes it's hard to see because the loop is covering the stitch. Okay, so we did increase, and now we're gonna do 1 single crochet, or in my case 1 loop stitch, followed by an increase. Increase means either 2 single crochet or 2 loop stitch. So this is going to be 2. So I go back to the same space and I do a 2. Okay, I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. And this row you should get 9 stitches. Okay, next row, row 3, we're going to do 2 single crochet followed by an increase. Means 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, then increase. And then we repeat 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase. So my marker will remind me to do an increase. So if you're not doing loop stitch, you can continue with 2 single crochet followed by an increase. So now I'm doing loop stitch. I'm going to put my hook into the hole, into the stitch that I want. Pull down a yarn with my thumb. Pull down a yarn with my thumb and I yarn over the other way. So this is my first single crochet. Let me add a marker to remind myself this is the starting point. Okay, this one taken, so next one should be here. When you're doing loop stitch, it's best that you use a marker to mark your way. Not chances of getting lost is very high, especially when at the starting now, when the stitches are very close together. Okay, this is the part where I'm going to do the increase. Means I'm going to do 2 loops in one. Okay, then I'm going to do single crochet, single crochet, single loop, and then a increase. Okay, so you continue until the end of the row. You should have 12 stitches all around. Okay, for the next row, we're going to do 3 single crochet followed by an increase. You see, you can actually see the stitches very clearly because I've moved the loop facing me. Okay, the loop all face downwards facing my side. So now the next row we're going to do 3 single crochet. Means single crochet, single crochet, single crochet followed by an increase. So it's 3 single crochet followed by an increase. As in for my case, I'm going to do a loop stitch, loop stitch, loop stitch, and an increased loop stitch. Means there's 2 loops in this stitch. So here, same thing, I'm gonna put my marker in first. This is 1. Okay, this is 2. Oops. This is 2. And this is 3. After 3, I'm going to do an increase. So this marker is kind of like to remind me this is where I should do the increase. Increase means I'm going to do 2 loops in the same stitch. So I make sure I go back to the same stitch, put your hook in first, then only pull it down. Okay, and continue until the end. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Okay, we completed that row. So now we're at row 5. Row 5, we're going to do 4 single crochet followed by an increase, and we should get 18 stitches all around, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 single crochet, 4 single crochet, then followed by an increase. In my case, it should be 4 loops followed by an increase loop. Okay, this marker is to mark where I start. Oops, this one you have to be very careful, you might accidentally loop one of these. Well, I like to take the challenge. It's kind of nice to have ears like this for a rabbit, for a change. Okay, this is my first one. Up to you. I always mark the first one. Some would mark their last one. So long you remember. what is it that you mark. 4 single crochets. I did 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry, 3, 4, followed by increase. This means here, every time put your hook in first before you pull it down. And before you remove this, you make sure you go back to the same loop, same stitch to make an increase, because once your hand let go, you might get confused. So you can count again, see whether you have 4 here before the next one. If you have, then you're at the right pace and the right stitch. So you continue until the end of the row and you should get 18 stitches all around. Again, I've completed the row. Now for row 6, you're going to do 5 single crochet followed by an increase, where you will get 21 stitches all around. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. So all in all this time, you're going to get 3 sets of everything. And just repeat for 3 sets. Two, 3, 4, 5, and do an increase. If you don't catch this, it's okay, don't worry. Just to remind you, my free written pattern will be in the blog. I'll share the link to my blog in the description box below. And you continue until the end of the row. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end. Okay, now for row 7, you're going to do 6 single crochet followed by an increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase. So in my case, it's 6 loop stitch and 1 increase loop stitch. 3 sets. As you get bigger, it's easier to crochet because it's easier to hold, especially when I'm doing loop stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. 6 followed by an increase. So have you got a hang of making loop stitch yet? Okay, continue and I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. This is how it looked like so far. So now for row 8 until row 10, we're going to do single crochet all around, or in my case it's loop stitch all around. That's mean 1 stitch, 1 loop stitch, or in your case could be 1 stitch, 1 single crochet. So single crochet all around or loop stitch all around, you should get 24 stitches all around from row 8 to row 10. So I'll come back to you once I'm at row 10. Okay, now we're gonna start to do decrease. You're gonna do 6 single crochet followed by a decrease. This means from here until here 6, and you leave 2 for decrease. If you're doing single crochet, you can do invisible decrease, but for loop stitch, I'll show you how. Okay, I'm gonna do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decrease. Okay, this is the one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, gonna do decrease. This is, if we're gonna do loop stitch, we're not gonna do invisible decrease. We're gonna just do normal decrease. You yarn over, and the second one, before you yarn over, that's when I put the loop. There's 3, and you yarn over 3. So this is a decrease. So 6 followed by a decrease. Okay, I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Okay, row 11, you should have 21 stitches all around. So now row 12 and 13, 2 rows, we're gonna do single crochet all around. Just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet for row 12 until row 13. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of row 13. Okay, now I'm at row 14. Row 14, you're gonna do 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a decrease. One, two, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. And you do another 2 sets, and I come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Okay, I've completed row 14. So now for row 15 and 16, you're gonna do single crochet all around. So 1 single crochet, 1 stitch here. Every stitch only 1 single crochet for row 15 until row 16, and you should get 18 stitches all around. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of row 16. Okay, now for row 17, we're going to do 4 single crochet followed by a decrease. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 single crochet followed by a decrease. In my case is 4 loop stitch followed by a decrease. Okay, you gotta hold all this down, if not you're gonna get complicated. 1, 2, 3, 4 decrease. Okay, this is the right spot. 1, this is my starting. Better add a marker. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and a decrease. Then you do 2 more sets, and I come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Okay, now for the last row, you're gonna do a single crochet all around. So if you want your ear to be a bit longer, this row you do 2 or 3 more before you do 1 more decrease and you attach to the ear. So now I'm gonna end here, and I mean this is my last row, so I'm gonna do single crochet all around. So each one I'm gonna have one, every stitch I'm gonna have only 1 loop stitch. I'll come back to you once I'm at the end of the row. Okay, so here I'm gonna seal it a bit just to make sure when I attach to the head it's easier. And this is the head. I've attached the rest. The hand, it should be kind of hugging position because this is going to be my mooncake rabbit. So here it's going to be holding a lantern, and this is the leg. It should be in a sitting position like this, and the head is way bigger than the body, so you need something to have it lean on. If not, it cannot sit on its own. It's too heavy. The head is just too heavy. So now to attach the ear, it's about 3 rows from the center, from our magic ring, sorry. So around here, and you make sure it's quite near the eyes. And when I stitch, you see, you can't see even if you open the ears, you can only see all these loops. You can't see the stitches. So my ear is not really attached here. If you want, you can make 1 stitch here so that you cannot flip the ear, depending who you're giving this to. If you're going to give this to a very young child, I would suggest you make 1 more stitch here in case that child might pull this ear off. But if it's just for a decoration or for a bigger child, then this is kind of fun if you can flip the ear. Okay, this one should be 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, about here. So if you're making loop stitch like mine, you make sure all this loop face downwards before you start sewing. If not, you get tangled up with your loop stitch. Oopsie, I got 1 tangle here. And make sure all these loops are nicely placed before you start to sew. There's no fixed rule into sewing this so long. It turns out that you cannot really see the stitches, and the ears are nicely done, and it's okay. And I'm going to attach a tiny carrot here as the hairpin, and I will share this in the description box, the video for this tiny mini carrot. I'll come back to you once I've attached the ear and the carrot. And this is how it's gonna look like. Hope you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And this is the lantern. If you want, you can get it from the description box, the mini lantern and the mini carrot. And thank you for watching. Hope to see you in my next post.